Oh, hey Leo, welcome to your May 2023 reading. Yes, it's May 2nd. Here we are. So May is going to be an intense month. Just we can already tell. Yesterday kind of felt pretty amazing. We had a Mars Neptune square, but people really weren't throwing things in I don't know, how do I put this? People weren't really being the most yesterday, but today when I woke up, whew, you could feel the spicy in the air. you could like you could taste the spicy in the air. So not much time on social media for me because I'm not playing that game with people. Everybody wants to prove somebody else wrong right now, which is a very interesting. The sun is in Taurus and the moon is in Libra. Let's all just relax. Let's all just relax a little. So good news. We found a place to move into, which is awesome. We will be moving on June 8th and we are starting from scratch. So my whole calendar in May is open. Like half of May is full already. But I am offering my 6 month readings, July through December tarot readings. You can also get your 6 month astrology. It's like general, brief astrology notes for each month. Um, you can do that. And all my other readings are also open. I keep getting distracted. I think that you guys really I think you're anxious. There's like this anxiety, or not anxiety, but excitement to like get to whatever I have to say. But yeah, so there's uh spaces on my calendar to come get readings for May and it would be it would be really helpful to us as well. So let's talk about the astrology. Let's get into it. Yesterday, Pluto went into retrograde yesterday in Aquarius, which would be your seventh house for Leo risings. And so there's, Pluto in Aquarius traveling through your seventh house for the next 20 years. There's going to be death and rebirth cycles when it comes to your relationships, because as you evolve, the people that you're in relationships, if they're not evolving along with you, it's going to be really, really difficult. There will be a lot of like push pulls, things like that. So you may feel like you're outgrowing some of the people that you're the closest to. Pluto retrograde for the next 5 months. He will regress back to Capricorn during this time. So you may see some personal growth when it comes to like health and career, but also personal growth when it comes to relationships too, or things like, how you're relating to other people or stuff like that, but also how you're relating to yourself. I think that with Pluto in your sixth house, you learned in a lot of ways how to structure a better like work life balance. So now you're going to be learning how to structure a better relationship self balance. And so Pluto in the seventh house is pretty interesting. A lot of times we can think that people only want the worst for us when Pluto is transiting the seventh house. Because it almost feels like you're being attacked all the time. And a lot of that it comes with learning how to relate with certain people, how to see who's for you and who's against you. It'll be interesting. So, anyways, Pluto retrograde is about looking at your shadow aspects. So, when Pluto is direct, we start to embody that into the physical, the things that we learned while Pluto was retrograde. He'll go direct in October. May 5th, which is Friday, it's just a couple of days away. We'll have the Scorpio lunar eclipse. I'm already feeling the intensity. I think that's what that spiciness was when I woke up this morning. Something new is going to be happening with your home life. This is happening in your fourth house. And it's funny because there's a lot of fixed nature happening in May, and your sign is going to be a part of some of the really tangible moments in the second half of May. They're going to be super duper intensified. May 14th, we have Mercury direct in Taurus, which is your 10th house. So communication becomes a little bit easier at work and with your public life and just being able to talk to people. Um, you also may feel like, oh wow, I can finally like get busy on these projects that I've been wanting to get busy on. Whew, like you may just feel like this stress relief is happening. May 16th, Jupiter is in Taurus in your 10th house for the next year. A lot of times when Jupiter transits somebody's 10th house, they change careers. Sometimes you can decide that you no longer want to do like the mundane corporate everyday career and you decide that you want to like go off on your own, or you decide you want to go a different spiritual kind of way. But this is a really big time of expansion. When Jupiter was in your 9th house, before he ingress before he'll ingress Taurus, with Jupiter in your 9th house, you were learning a lot of the things that you want to bring into your future career that you know, and Jupiter right here is really going to be kind of helping you move that along. You can find a lot of abundance when it comes to your work life if you are truly watching the clues, because Jupiter will give you clues on what you're supposed to be doing, and then if you do them, the abundance will rain down upon you. Jupiter is not the guy that just gives you things. Jupiter's like, this is what you got to do to get it, but I promise you, you'll still get it. May 19th, the Taurus new moon in the 10th house. Again, for some of you, you're probably going to be switching careers. For some of you, you might be getting a raise or a promotion. For some of you, you might be starting a new business. It could be just so many different things. May 20th, if you're not doing any of those things, then there's something different about your public life. There's something different about the way that you're putting yourself out there. Maybe you decide during this new moon that you want to like pull back from social media and you don't necessarily want to put your life on, you know, like out there in the spotlight. Just so many different things. And for, you know, a lot of this is a lot about just finding out who we are and what it is, how we want to present ourselves to other people. May 20th, we will have the Jupiter, Pluto, and Mars T-square. So Mars is ingressing Leo, your sign. That will be happening on May 20th. And so Mars will be at 0 degrees Leo and Aquarius will be 0 degrees Aquarius, or I'm sorry, Pluto will be 0 degrees Aquarius. And then we will have Jupiter in that square in Taurus. And so with Mars and Pluto opposite each other and Jupiter down here, people are really going to be scrambling for the things that they want. I've been trying to figure out how to discuss this T-square because I don't want anybody to be afraid. I don't want anybody to start, freaking out. I do think that like some money things, we're already seeing that stuff happening with the bank, but I do think that there's going to be some kind of big news around financial institutions or something like that. There's something where the power struggle is very real. And there are a lot of people that are scared, the fear of losing everything, the lack mentality, and the fear is at an all-time high right now. And that's because things have to change. And a lot of people aren't good with change. Like that's just hard. So this T-square is going to be really intense, and it's sandwiched right in between the new moon in Taurus, and then we have the sun moving into Gemini on the 21st of May. So, every single one of us have a choice on how to act. And we can act like a fool. We can act out in all the ways that we feel like we need to act out because we need to prove a point or something, whatever the reason is. There's always an excuse and a reason to act out, right? Or we can recognize that everybody is just kind of trying to get through life the best way that they possibly can right now. There's a lot of paranoia out in the streets, and I kind of feel like that Mars and Pluto opposition with Jupiter squaring both Mars and both Pluto, making that T square. It's a fixed T square. It's going to be aggressive. And how you decide to handle it, how you decide to respond to any kind of projection that's coming at you speaks volumes about who you are, and like, you know what I mean? So, and I think that there's just a lot of people that are really, really scared, and we need to go out into the world with compassion and empathy, because I think that we're missing a lot of that right now. So yeah, I mean, things are a little bit weird, but that doesn't mean that everything is lost. I don't believe that at all. Let's see. We're going to look at the power of surrender cards, Leo. Let's see what it is that Leo is surrendering for May. Oh, nice. This is a good one. Surrender your attachment to results. The formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen and then let go of the results. Hanging on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. It's almost like I used to give this analogy, like you would get a hamster and you would love that hamster so much, and you want that hamster so much, and so you would love on it and love it and love it, and then you end up squishing it because you loved it so much and you just wanted the best for it. I used to overwater plants a lot because I was like really, really, really attached to the result of that plant being beautiful. And I would overwater it, and I would suffocate them I would drown them in water. It was ridiculous. So, surrendering your attachment to results. Wow, that Hanged Man could not be louder, you guys. Okay. So there's a level of patience that's needed as you move towards a certain amount of closure. There it is. So we have the Hanged Man. The cards felt a little sticky while I was shuffling them. Do you guys kind of feel like you're in quicksand a little bit with this Hanged Man? It feels like you're kind of moving at a snail's pace right now. Because I feel like you want things to move faster, but the Chariot is here and the Hanged Man is here. So divine timing is very real. You know, the secret and the trick that I found out about divine timing is when I've done everything I possibly can for a situation, and then I take a step back from it, and I'm just like, okay, well, I've done everything I can. I guess I just wait and see what happens, and I really allow myself to flow with what's going on in my present world, and I just stop worrying about said thing. It doesn't go away completely, but it just sort of evolves past. I realize that divine timing is actually my timing. When I'm aligned to my journey, and I'm in divine timing, it's when I have that destination addiction and I want the future to happen faster. It's when I'm sitting in the past and I'm afraid of moving forward because of the things that happened in the past. That's when I am off alignment from divine timing. And, you know, it has a little bit more depth than that, but that's like the basic concept of divine timing, is you being aligned to your path. Then things just, have you ever noticed that like you go and go and go and go and go and you get really, really frustrated, and then you're just like, fuck, there's nothing else I can do. And you just surrender, and then everything starts falling into place. Has that ever happened to you? Because I guarantee you, if it hasn't, it probably will at some point. That doesn't mean that those things that fall into place are forever things, but things just start to fall into place and you're just like, oh, wow, it's in the surrender. Do you know what surrender is? Being in the present moment. That's what the Hanged Man is trying to get to you. It's time to look at this closure at a different perspective. So we have the Hanged Man, we have the Chariot, and we have the World. All major arcana sitting up there in the front, the top row, just ready to go and ready to go and ready to go, right? You're ready to go. These are your signs. You're ready for this to end. You're ready to move forward. You're ready for this, whatever it is, closure that you're searching for. It's right here in front of you. What's interesting on the bottom row is we have the Knight of Wands, the High Priestess, and the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords, not even arguing that those are probably the two most aggressive knights. The swords are more aggressive than the wands, I would say, but they're flanking your intuition. So the desire for you to want to speed up, I get it, you're a fire sign, but you're also a fixed fire sign, right? The desire for you to speed up, the desire for you to make things happen faster are going completely against what your intuition is telling you to do. You already understand that things are moving forward and you already understand the closure is happening, but it's all in the right timing. Now, you could be dealing with a Pisces energy or even a Cancerian energy because of, we got the Hanged Man and the High Priestess and the World here, or the Chariot here. But it really feels like there's this moment where it's time for you to kind of step back and not try and rush ahead. Like there's nothing more that you can do. And I think that you know that. I think that you've completed all the tasks that you can complete, and now you have to have faith and trust. Let's see. Like I said, there's some kind of water sign here. Could also have to do with a Virgo. But we have the King of Cups on the Hanged Man. It could be also that you're waiting for someone to show up for you. Like that may be the thing that you're waiting for. Like you're waiting for a partner to show up, or you're waiting, like you could know this person, you may not know this person. We have the Hermit. This is a very interesting thing. We have the Hermit on the Chariot. So this definitely feels like a personal journey that you're going through in May, Leo. In a really big way. Because I feel like you may not know what to do about another person in your life. Is there something... It's time for closure. Okay. So while you're sitting here wondering about a particular person in your life, could be a Virgo, I feel like you already know. You already have the intuitive knowing that this water sign or whoever person it is, judgment on the world, like this is the biggest billboard in your face saying it's time to end this chapter. Time to end this chapter. And if for some of you it's about a Virgo leaving, and you're kind of, I mean, obviously that creates like you being a little bit upset, but I feel like you're on a very personal inward journey in May. And I think that you're recognizing that there is a cycle that it's run its course, and it's ready to be done. Yeah. And here's the thing is, instead of you second guessing yourself constantly and going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and wondering, like, should I stay? Should I go? I understand the complicated nature of some of these questions, because for some of you, this is about a job. For some of you, this is about a relationship. For some of you, this is about like a home environment. It's very interesting. This is not the bottom of the deck for good, but the Tower showed up. So, showed itself. So keep that under consideration. But, this isn't just have to be closure about a relationship. It absolutely can be. You're going to have to like put it into your life. But it looks like Leos are getting to a cycle in their life where they're ending something. Like in my mind, I just thought, well, my 9-year-old is a Leo and this is the last month of school for the year. Of course, then he goes to summer school for a month too. But like just things like that. Like there's something, it could even be as small, like some of you Leos might be graduating high school and now you're just like, oh wow, this is a personal journey for me. I have to like level up to the next thing. What am I going to do? Here's the thing is the thing that you are holding on to the most, so we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Eight of Cups, clarifying the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is this action. Back and forth, not really being able to like land on a decision, really going back and forth with someone, with themselves. And I feel like that's what it is that you're still attached to, because you're going to get the answers in due time. The endings of things are always a catalyst for new beginnings. And what that new beginning looks like, obviously, is going to be different for every single person. But the Wheel of Fortune and the Eight of Cups here is literally saying, like, it's time for you to walk away from those things that you've attached yourself to. So whatever idea has you going back and forth, you have this attached idea in your head about something. And it could be something, could be a molehill or it could be a mountain. And it's going to be different for every single one of you. But it's not your job to figure out how it's going to work out. If you and whoever else is involved in the situation or the experience want it to work out, then it's all going to come together for the betterment of everybody. There's this concept, and I think a lot of Americans have a concept in their mind that it's like they can, like anything that they want, they can just manifest into reality and they're going to get it. And I think it was like this, especially in the generation I grew up in, Gen X. It's like all you got to do is dream and you can have it, right? All you got to do is blah, 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 and you can have it. And that's really a difficult concept to grasp these days, because that's not true. Like you have to work very hard to be able to get things that you want. And we learn lessons along the way, and if you don't want to get this or you don't want to get that, then whatever. But there is an ending that is happening, and clearly in your heart of hearts that this is the best situation for everyone involved, this ending that happened, or this pending ending, if you will. Because it might not have happened yet. Like you might still be sitting on it and the universe is literally showing you all these signs that it has to happen, and you refuse. It's not that you refuse to see it, it's that you want to see it in a different way. Like that's literally the way how I want it to go. Like, why can't this just like end up being, oh wow, the cards are no longer sticky, so we got to the heart of the matter. Okay. All right, that's what we got. All right. Bottom of the deck, 7 of Wands. Okay, I like that better than the Tower. But I do feel like there might be some minor Tower moments going on in May, and I think it's because you have to stand up for yourself. There's this advocating that you need to do for yourself. 10 of Cups with the High Priestess, you have an idea of what you want your future to look like. And your future of the 10 of Cups is not going to be built by you being wishy-washy about situations. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but nobody has been successful in their lives by straddling the line, by not having clarity, by not being honest with themselves. Sure, people can have success by not being honest with themselves, but that's not authentic. That's not real. That's not who they are. If they're not being honest with themselves, that's going to be a really rough fall when they figure it out. So, 7 of Pentacles on the Knight of Swords. You got to be patient when you are wanting to lay the groundwork for a new foundation. When you've planted those seeds and you're ready to start manifesting, you can't just rush in there and expect for everything to just be perfect and be laid out perfectly. Even when things happen for the betterment of everybody in the situation, that doesn't mean it's not going to be painful and a little bit painful for some people. I feel like it's not going to be perfect for everyone. You see? Okay. And then we have the Seven of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So, you know, I like to remind people that boundaries are about allowing people into your life, not just keeping people out of your life. Of course, if people can't respect your boundaries, then they're they don't respect you enough to be in your life. That's the way that I see it. So remember that. Remember that boundaries are not to be feared or to feel guilty about. You can still be an open and vulnerable person and have like airtight boundaries. I do. I absolutely have airtight boundaries, but I'm very open and I'm very vulnerable, and you can tell that. So it's really possible, I promise. So I love you guys. Have a wonderful May, and I'll see you soon. Bye.